Okay, so I'm so excited. Today was a pool day. Scott was off today. And anyways, I had made some sandwich bread with sourdough discard and active dry yeast. And before we left for the pool, I fed my sourdough starter. Now, I have struggled with my sourdough starter being active and bubbly. And I came home to this beautiful, beautiful mess.
I grossly underestimated the size of this jar, but this is the first time I have had my sourdough starter actually bubble like this and overflow a jar. But all those tiny little bubbles, that's exactly what you want to see.
So tonight I am going to start another artisan loaf and pray. It works.
I have been using this recipe from Farmhouse on Boone for quite a while, and I really do like it. But my biggest thing is my loaves were coming out real dense, and I did some investigation and realized it always came down to my sourdough starter not being active and bubbly enough. So I have been working so hard at trying to get my sourdough started active and bubbly, and I will do a video down the line on how I did that. But I do believe that was the secret ingredient to my beautiful loaf that you see here, is that wonderful active sourdough starter. Welcome to the Fledgling Farmer, where I navigate old-fashioned living and a healthy lifestyle, my struggles and successes, and a major learning curve.
So I've had chickens for about 15 years, and I just recently learned this year that you could feed chickens scraps, your refrigerator scraps, kitchen scraps, and it has been such a huge game changer. And so I'm going to show you kind of what we're going to feed them today. So feeding them some pork rinds, because those are my great weakness, and I'm put on way too much weight, and so I'm going to feed them to the girls. This is my last jar of okra, stick of okra. This is my fermented cabbage. I'm about to make some other new cabbage, and that's kind of old. I've got some old hot dog buns from a friend, and I think that's it for right now. Yummy. Yeah, that's pickles. That look like pickles? It's got garlic in it, that's for sure. Good job, bud. Here, shake it. Shake it. Good job. Oh, they love you.
It has been really nice being able to set aside our chicken scraps, leftovers. It's funny, when we go out to eat, we don't have a doggy bag anymore. We have a chicken bag that we will put our leftovers in and bring them back to the girls. Now, this by no means is to replace their normal diet of chicken scratch and feed, but it definitely is a good, nice treat for them. So we've enjoyed doing it. Normally I don't give them that much of an overload of snacks and stuff, but this was just one of those days where I had, a lot of things to take out to them. So it is fun, and it is a nice treat for the girls. We've also begun to feed our girls fermented feed, where I take equal parts chicken scratch to water in a 5-gallon bucket, stir it up, sit it in the barn, let it ferment for 48 hours before feeding to them. And I keep a rotation of that going, and they get a little bit of that every day, which will provide beneficial probiotics for the girls, as well as extend my chicken feed, because it expands it and feeds them until they're much more full. And now here I am kind of transitioning into my garden, where I have learned yet another lesson on marking my rows and using a weatherproof pen, because I have no idea what these plants are. Had to do quite a bit of
Well, it's
investigating.
coming along beautifully. I picked several peppers off my plants last night when I watered. Now this morning, I am going to quickly go through and pull up straggler weeds and take my little, whatever you call this, pronged hoe, whatever, loosen up the soil, and I'm going to do that here and over with my corn and sunflowers. And my routine seems to be developing where I spend about an hour a day. That is my goal, and that is my limit, because last year I burned out. So that is one lesson I've definitely learned, is how to figure out how to manage life and gardening, which is part of life. So this is what I will be doing for, I'm guessing it's going to take me about 20 minutes.
I've ignored my leftover seed starts for far too long, and so I'm going to take my seed starts that did not get into the ground and put them in the compost pile. And you'll see too how I've utilized our plastic containers as seed starting vessels, and it's really quite gratifying to recycle in this manner. And we've also been using a lot of our cardboard and wood ash in our compost.
Well, hello friend. This is Richie. I don't know if it's the same snake that's around a lot, but I just ripped up his home. I'm taking these tarps off. He's none too happy. Sorry, Richie. Oh, here he goes. It did give me a little bit of a scare. Today's been a little nostalgic and emotional for me, because the last time I laid mulch, Cheyenne was here, and that was a big round bale of hay, and now it's about a third of what it was. But yeah, a little teary-eyed, missing my oldest. So I'm gonna pause because the straw is real wet. I've gotten down to kind of where the center of it was. So it's a little hard to pull and spread. We're gonna get some scattered thunderstorms today. So I might just need to wait till that dries out a little bit. I'll kind of show you over here what I'm talking about. So normally straw is real easy to spread, but this is kind of clumpy. So yeah, so I'm just gonna let it dry out. I'll spread this out a little bit, and that'll keep down on the weeds, and it'll keep in more of the moisture when we water.
So I'll leave you with some wins and takeaways from this past week, and that is that healthy, active sourdough starter is the key to a big, beautiful artisan loaf. So super pleased with that, as well as being diligent in giving our chickens a healthy diet and adding our scraps to it, as well as committing to an hour a day into the garden so it is maintainable and does not become overwhelming, and it actually becomes a great pleasure. So I hope you enjoyed this week's journey into an old-fashioned lifestyle and all natural living. Till next time.